I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight.
The same applies for the species. Our species is 200,000 years old. Homo sapiens, our favorite species, is 200,000 years old. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. We just showed up. We just got here, and somehow we have the audacity and the hubris to think that the whole thing is about us.
So you believe that you're going to die soon, along with the rest of us. So what are you doing between now and then? What do you do with that knowledge?
I'm living.
How, you got a bucket list? What are you doing?
At the edge of extinction.
You can't leave. You've got to stay, and the party's going on forever.
Maybe a little death is helpful along the way. Maybe we need a black plague every now and then, and that's what ensures the continued persistence of Homo sapiens and the civilization in which we're embedded.
Anyway, my role is just to write books. I'm not really trying to do anything more than that. Write some good books, if possible, and enjoy my life.
I don't think there will be a human being on the planet in 2030, and what that means is there's going to be some pretty serious disruption along the way.
By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand, men of the West!
Every moment may be our last. We are never more beautiful than we are today. We will never be more wonderful. The life will never be more wonderful, and we will never be more beautiful than we are right now.
For Frodo.
A full human life, that should be the life abundant for anyone. It should be sufficient. If we could live fully, from day to day and throughout a lifetime, whether it's a mere 40 or 50 years or the full 70 of biblical times or even longer, a full and active and adventurous human life should be enough for anybody and should free us from the childish hankering for personal immortality. I've been a Joe Sixpack for much of my life. I had to work at various jobs, most of them rather tedious, simply to get by, make a living. No, I certainly don't blame working people. They're more victimized by this process than the rest of us. Most of them have their lives and their health threatened more directly and more constantly simply by the work they do than we lucky ones who can talk about it all. That's a tough question you raise, and I find it hard to say where this disease began.
Other people, other scientists primarily.
Can you name the people that agree with you?
How you respond to that information?
Can you name a bunch of scientists that agree with you?
There are several scientists who do not disagree with the information I present. Does that mean they agree with me in public? No, of course not. They don't ever disagree with me, but they don't publicly agree with me either.
I think that might be true.
Life will never be more wonderful. We will never be more beautiful than we are right now. The gods can't say that.
It really does seem to me like a kind of cancer, a tumor on human society. I would say it began when we gave up the traditional hunting and gathering way of life and made the terrible mistake of settling down to agriculture. Somebody has said that the plow may have done more damage to human life and the planet than the sword.
I'm not afraid of being dead, if you see what I mean. I mean, because I don't think I'll be aware of the fact that I am not there.
So the question, I would like to reframe the question as, what do we do in the time we have left? life will never be more wonderful. We will never be more beautiful than we are right now. The gods can't say that. What we have is right now.
Stars had to die. One every second blew up, and is still blowing up since the Big Bang. We're made, if you want to call it pretty, from stardust or nuclear waste, depending on your on your analysis. But there's absolutely no reason to think that those molecules would be worth reassembling. That they will rejoin, as do the animals, and as have done the other species we didn't know about till recently, the other human tribes.
Well, yes, it's certainly all over for us in the not too distant future. Well, for most of us, I don't doubt that sociopaths in bunkers will survive for a few more years beyond, say, an ice-free Arctic. But it appears we're headed for an ice-free Arctic this year.
Retro rockets firing.
The Cro-Magnons, the Neanderthals, they only died out about 20,000 years ago. Who has heaven and hell for them? It's as likely for us as it is, I think, for any other dog, whale, or bacteria.
Even these so-called cold-blooded organisms that we tend to think of as relishing the sun and the heat actually can't keep up. As with every other organism on the planet, this class of organisms evolved through natural selection within a very narrow range of conditions. What this means is that if the temperature goes a little bit higher or a little bit lower than the environmental conditions under which these organisms came into being, then they simply can't keep up with those changes. As with the rest of us, their tolerance for environmental conditions is really quite narrow.
The only worst thought I can imagine having is being tapped on the shoulder and told,
I don't believe that there's any reason to fear or hope for a future that never comes.
Oh my God, no! I have a family!
There you go.
What about the scaremongering? What
if
about
I was a
ordinary
medical
people who might
doctor-
actually believe you, who might be scared of you, might be scared of what's happening right now?
Hell's happening.
To burn up somewhere over the Atlantic.
Deal with it.
It looks like this could very well be the year the ice in the Arctic is very slushy, and as the president of Finland said recently, he's been saying it frequently, in fact,
I can break her codes. Then get on with it!
when the Arctic ice goes, habitat for humans leaves shortly thereafter. So,
Okay, so how do
I
we die?
suspect
Because
with-
people will be very, very sceptical of your claims that we've only got a couple of years. I mean, I simply don't believe you, to be honest, with all due respect. How do we die? Tell us what the end looks like in the next couple of years.
Of course, it's a horrible thing to take on. A primary factor will be starvation as civilization collapses and the inability to grow grains.
Yeah, but seriously, can people take that seriously, that it will all happen within the next couple of years? I mean, you taking the mickey out of all of us and out of the rest of the world?
Well, how you respond to this information, just like how individuals respond to a terminal diagnosis as individually from a doctor, is up to you.
And I think if you can live a full human life, that should be the life abundant for anyone. It should be sufficient. If we could live fully, day to day, and throughout a lifetime, whether it's a mere 40 or 50 years or the full 70 of biblical times, or even longer, a full and active and adventurous human life should be enough for anybody, and should free us from the childish hankering for personal immortality.
What we have is right now. And what I leave off when I include that line from Homer in the Iliad, the part I leave off is the beginning. At the beginning he says, the gods envy us. We are flawed organisms. As Nietzsche pointed out, we are all too human. We are absolutely fundamentally flawed. So I recognize that we're all embedded within this set of living arrangements that we had no control over, and yet we're part of it. So how do we escape?
Which of us is worthy to live forever and eternally? Nobody I know. And what's the point of it anyway? If this life here on this wonderful planet we call Earth is not good enough for us, what possible pleasure, satisfaction, or happiness could we find in some sort of transcendental, eternal existence beyond time and space? Eternity, in that sense, is a moment, a flash.
We often hear carpe diem, right? Seize the day. How about pressum diem? Squeeze the day. Squeeze all the life out of every day.
Then we get the hell out of the way. We have our bodies decently planted in the earth to nourish other forms of life. Weeds, flowers, shrubs, trees, which support the ongoing human life. That seems good enough to me. Maybe when I become a terrified old man, I'll dig out the Bible again and start babbling about a life beyond the grave.
We will never be more wonderful. The life will never be more wonderful, and we will never be more beautiful than we are right now.
Hey, buddy, wake up.
How can I look myself in the mirror? The only way I could look myself in the mirror at the end of the day is if I continue to promulgate the evidence.
We're all about to die. What?
Rooted in the conservative referee journal literature.
What about the scaremongering? What about ordinary people who might actually believe you, who might be scared of you, might be scared of what's happening right now?
Yes! I am invincible!
You seem very relaxed and you sound very relaxed for what effectively amounts to sort of, compulsory euthanasia of the world.
The lives of my family and friends. And my enemies. I enjoy their problems too.
So you say we won't survive as a people, but will the planet survive? And if it does, what will happen to it?
What do I do in that time? How do I live? That's a tough question, because as long as the system as we know it remains intact, we need money.
I mean, do you look at yourself in the mirror and think, my God...
Tell him! Now! Give me the cards, Natalia!
So I've had these guys, I've been on another television or radio program, because to me, I can't find anybody publicly who supports this kind of crap.
When was the last leader we had in this country? Thomas Jefferson, perhaps.
I'm presenting evidence. If people don't want to believe it and they want to call me names as a result, I don't have any control over that. I'm a rationalist. I've been pursuing scientific activity for a very long time, my entire adult life. If you don't want to believe me, that's really not on me. I'm presenting the evidence that it can all be found in the referee journal literature.
What are you talking about? Yeah, I thought I should wake you up. Nobody wants to die in their sleep. Oh my God!
Whether you want to pursue it or not is up to you. The water will continue to be fouled. The air will continue to be spoiled, but the primary factor will be starvation.
Yes.
The rest is just the same, isn't it? Once we have an ice-free Arctic for the first time in at least 2.6 million years, long time before Homo sapiens showed up on the planet. Once that happens, I'd say it's game over. We lose habitat.
Oh, look, there's one guy who slept through this whole thing.
Almost instantly.
We're not particularly happy with what we propose, which is overwhelmingly likely that annihilation and extinction await us. It's just that the overwhelming weight of evidence seems that way.
Hey, buddy, wake up.
We know what the Muslims think for men. Apparently for women, do you know what they get? They get their husbands back.
Is that heaven?
Nothing man-made about that.
I still think that life will survive, even if only in the most rudimentary form. I'm in favor of all kinds of life, even bacteria, germs, bugs, insects, scorpions. I don't think that anything humanity can do will destroy all life on Earth. And as long as there's life, in any shape, well, there's still hope. And if we humans are stupid enough to destroy our own lives, that doesn't necessarily take all the goodness out of the lives of other creatures that might, and I hope will, survive us.
But the reason why I started with my totalitarian point is this.
People always get concerned about things that they think they're in danger of losing. So it often comes too late.
Look, it's not as though you're tapped on the shoulder and told,